Well, hello everyone. It has been a while since I have done a Facebook Live. And Jersey, thank you so much for that reminder. It's about time, right? Um, you know, there's a lot has been happening at the beginning of this year. People have gone through quite a bit in different areas. And just wanted to address a little bit different type of talk today. And as people are getting on, I just wanted to reach back and say thank you to all of the folks that have reached out for my birthday over the last couple of weeks. There have been so many, I haven't been able to get back to everyone individually, and that frankly makes me feel bad, but I just really appreciate each and every one of you for the cards and coming out to the surprise party and whatever the connection we have. I just wanted you to know that you are all very special to me, and thank you so much for being a part of my journey. So today the topic is don't sweat the small stuff. There was a statement years ago that I heard. It said there's two rules. One is don't sweat the small stuff. That's rule number one. And number two is it's all small stuff. And, I think about that, and it serves for a large majority of the things that we go through, but not everything. So it's not quite accurate. And I wanted to just kind of go over a couple of things today. We have different triggers in our lives. Some of them are people. When people are, maybe we have haters in our lives, we're moving on, we're doing things, and they may not understand. It may threaten them in some way. They may take advantage of us. There have been situations for me this year where I have had individuals that have taken advantage of what I thought was agreed upon, and it didn't turn out as well as I would have liked. But that will happen. And the thing to remember is it about me? Is there a lesson for me to learn from this? Or is it something to, really put in perspective? I'm going to give you a suggestion at the end of this Facebook Live about how to do that. Events. This year, and many of you know that a couple of weeks ago, we lost our 18-year-old great-nephew. He was in an automobile accident. And it was something that was obviously totally unforeseen, that it was something that we had to deal with. But it was still a trigger. And there's other events in our lives. I've had a couple of my coaching clients in the last couple of weeks also have lost loved ones in different situations. And so what do we do with that? What is the stuff? How do we handle that stuff and be able to move on to that next step that we have put in front of us? And then we have our businesses. And, one of the things that I had addressed a couple of days ago with a client, and they were saying like they had lost a deal. And I said, well, what do you mean you lost the deal? And they said, well, we were counting on this. It looked like it was going to go through, and we lost it. And my question to them was, how can you lose something that you never had? And so, again, putting things into perspective of what is the things that are the things that really matter to us, that we really want to embrace, and those that we want to let go. So here's the question. When we have these triggers, whether they seem large or small, and sometimes the small things, because they're right in our face, can seem like they're very large. But whatever that trigger is, ask this question. Does it matter in 5 years? Does it matter in 5 years that I have somebody that reached out to me and says, maybe I'm a little nuts, or my ego is out of line, or whatever it may be, but does it matter in 5 years? Now, when it comes to other situations and relationships, and maybe a loss of a loved one like what we just had, will it matter in 5 years? And the answer is yes. And it's supposed to. It's meant to be. But how do we put it in perspective so that we can honor that trigger, honor that obstacle, if you will, that we have in our lives, and where it doesn't affect our current relationships, it doesn't affect our businesses. It may slow it down, but it won't stop us. And so really, it's a question of, is it something that I want to let go of? And one of the things that I'm going to ask you to do is the things that are bothering you right now, things that are maybe holding you back or are taking up a lot of space in your energy, in your emotions, in your psyche, and just list all those things out and then determine, does it matter in 5 years? If it doesn't, I'd like to suggest that you let it go, but learn from it. There's another old adage is forgive and forget. I don't believe in forgetting. I believe in learning from. So we can let it go. We can forgive. But what did we learn from that? How can we become a better, person, a better business person, a better spouse, significant other, a father, mother, whatever it is that is getting in the way for us right now? Because ultimately, guys, we are whole people. And some of these things that are just holding us back in these, what we might consider small areas, can have a dramatic impact on what we achieve in our businesses and ultimately in that ultimate vision that we have for ourselves in our lives. So, the couple of questions again, looking at your list, make that list. And this is something that you're going to do ongoing, by the way. Does it matter in 5 years? And then determine, can I let it go? And what did I learn from it? And that way we are progressing. We're actually becoming more valuable to those that we connect with. So anyway, oh, hey, Laura, how you doing? And Amanda, it's really hard for me to see the screen. So I know I'm going to be missing people, but thank you so much for joining. And I will be doing more of these as we go along. And I'm just so proud of each and every one of you. I've had so many people come to me and say, these are the results that we're getting. In fact, I had just received an email this morning, someone that had completed the 30-day challenge with the get statements. And what they said was in the first 2 weeks, they actually were achieving the things that were on their list, and they were surprised. So thank you for actually engaging and using the tools that have been so beneficial to me. And, like always, if you're doing your get statements, you would like me to review them, I'd be more than happy to just send them to Gary at GaryBarnesInternational.com. Hey, have a great week, and we will be back with you again. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.